Hello, everyone. Welcome back to your quick drop in mental health hack for the day. Now, today is a really interesting one, and there's so many layers. So let's see where this goes. But what I want to invite you to consider is, where is your stress, anxiety, overwhelm? Where is it coming from that is due to you not showing up fully as you, not asking for what it is that you actually want, and you're rather showing up as someone that you were maybe a long time ago, and you've kept up, which has now become a pretense because it's no longer who you are, but because everyone else believes that this is you, and you don't want to prove them wrong, and you don't want to take on all the new judgments or all the projections or people questioning your change. So you're going along with the ride, where because you've changed so much, you have different needs, desires, and you're not asking for them. Now, of course, there are so many things that go with this. So I'm not saying just go for it and open the door. I mean, maybe that will be a contribution in your life. I don't know. But where can you start acknowledging you more? Whether it's in your relationships, your personal relationships, your work relationships, um, whatever that dynamic is. And the more you acknowledge you, and the more you do the inner work, the self-reflection, and look at what it is that you desire for your life. So where are things in your life not working for you that if you were willing to look at them honestly and openly, you can start making different choices. Now, I get that making different choices can be really terrifying, can be challenging, but what challenges and what fears are you accepting right now anyway? What's your hard? I don't know if you've heard that quote, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but we get to choose our hard. So let's say in a relationship, you either stay in a relationship that isn't working for you and tolerate what's difficult about that, or you make the choice to leave that relationship. And that in itself is going to be hard as well, because you're hurting the person, and because you're choosing something else. Now, of course, we know relationships for me have been a bit of a sore point. Um, but it is the willingness to look at what is uncomfortable, what is sore, what is traumatic that keeps coming up. And seeing that, okay, cool, what is it about this situation that is making me feel anxious or overwhelmed or anxious, or got some trauma that's linked to it. And that's what is affecting my emotional health, my mental health, etc. That if I had the bravery and the courage to look at it. And by looking at it, maybe acknowledging that I need to show up in a completely different way, that I need to make different choices, that I need to have different conversations. Um, and because you're avoiding that, because you know what you have to do. Maybe you're in a job that doesn't serve you any longer. You're just not a good fit anymore. You're not growing, you're not developing, you're not creating anymore. But leaving is going to be hard. And I'm not suggesting that you just up and leave and resign tomorrow. Consider what this means for you and your life and your living. But as soon as you admit it, you can start making other choices. Maybe you can start finally putting your CV together or having conversations with other people to put yourself out there. But you wouldn't have done that if you stay in the fear of not making a different choice. And remember that these choices, what I would encourage you to do is make sure that they are honoring to those around you. Because so many times people thinking, well, I'm choosing this for me, and they choose for them while they are destroying everyone else and everything else in their path. It doesn't need to be that. You can choose for you while doing so from a space of integrity and honor and respect for those around you, for the relationships, for your business, whatever that is. You can do it in a way that is going to be a contribution to the other person, that is going to be an invitation to them to also look at what is going on. And together you can co-create this. You can create a new reality, a new way of being that can lift the anxiety, the overwhelm from you and maybe even the other person, personally or professionally. So today, look at the areas that are causing your overwhelm, your anxiety, your need to run, your need to fight, flight, or freeze. Look at those areas and then start asking yourself questions. What about this isn't working for me? What about this do I want to change? What about this is going to create more, without making any of that wrong, yourself or the situation, but just asking a question. Okay, what isn't working for me? Truly, honestly, what isn't working for me? And it's not about pointing blame to everyone else to say, well, it's because of them. And maybe, yes, maybe they've done something. But ultimately, what has been your contribution in all of this? And once you can look at that and ask yourself that, you can start making the difficult, sometimes really difficult, hard and challenging decisions and choices. But ultimately, those are the ones that are going to shift your reality and eventually bring you ease. Now, I get how scary and terrifying this is. And you might say, P, I don't know how to do this. And that's where my second invitation is to reach out and get professional guidance, support, and clarity. And that could be from me, could be from another coach. I don't always recommend that we ask from our friends and family, because mostly they will try and mollycoddle you. You know, if you say, oh, my partner is being this or this, or my boss is being this and this, the likelihood of them agreeing with you and aligning with your point of view is highly likely. So is that going to give you perspective? No. Now, look, I've got some friends in my life that call me out on things, and we have that kind of relationship, but we still find ourselves mostly supporting each other. But yes, I do have a space of friends that are co-facilitators, co-coaches, my colleagues in an informal environment, that we do ask each other questions and hold space for each other to be honest and truthful and say, hey, let's look at this. What is going on truly? But if you don't have that professional support, even if it's an informal support structure, then get professional guidance. And you might say, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, blah, 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 whatever those reasons are. And they could be absolutely justified. But how willing are you to stay stuck in this or self-implode, whatever this is, or leave, make the decision, but just repeat the same pattern in a different way? So it's same, but looks different because the packaging is different, but it's actually still the same thing you're choosing. So you just keep cycling over and over again, those patterns in your life that you keep recycling. And I catch myself now, because I'm so grateful that I have tools and I have my support network, and my co-coaches that I go to and facilitators to ask questions. When my point of view, I know when I require a different point of view, when I require perspective, choose that. Rather do that. Choose that, whatever that is going to require from you. Stop making excuses to not look at your life and to stop or to not look at the areas that are not contributing to your sense of ease, your joy, your happiness, your ability to expand your life and create your life in a way that is going to inspire you and fulfill you and truly live fully. And in that way, you can inspire those around you to do the same. You can be the invitation to those around you to do the same. But until you're willing to look at the areas that are causing and creating the sense of overwhelm for you, and yes, of course, there are lots of other reasons that could be contributing to that as well. But where are you staying stuck there? Oh man, this conversation, I could take it so many ways, but I'm going to keep it focused and end it off here and just invite you to look at that. And if you do need guidance or support, please reach out to me so we can look at what we can do and how we can work together with one-on-one sessions or group sessions, whatever that looks like, or reach out to another coach that can give you perspective. But don't stay stuck in the story. Don't stay stuck in your story, because the story doesn't matter. Oh, and I know what that sounds like, because The story to me, where I've experienced trauma, has been significant and it did matter. But ultimately, it doesn't actually matter. What matters is what you're going to do with where you are, what choices you want to make going forward. That's what matters. So please don't go and speak to someone. And that's where I caution about reaching out just to your friends and family, because they'll allow you to stay stuck in the story. Or even if there are coaches that just keep letting you retell your story over and over and over again, which just brings up more and more trauma and doesn't actually guide you or encourage you to stop the story, because that is in the past. So yes, learn the lessons. Yes, ask the questions around that. But it's what you're going to choose now from a new space and a new perspective and new possibilities that is going to create your life going forward. A life that brings you more ease. I'm not saying easy, but that even in the times that are challenging, you feel a sense of ease. Look, what I went through in the last year and a half was hell, was really painful and traumatic, but I have never felt freer. And I managed to navigate it. Look, there were times when, duvet was over the head, didn't want to get out of bed. But through the other times and spaces, how I've been able to create my life with more ease, even though there have been roadblocks and times where I've tripped over again and stayed in a little dark puddle for a little while, I've pulled myself out of it quicker. And again, grateful to my support network and my friends that keep me accountable and allow me to stay stuck in my story for a little bit and then snap me out of it. And that's where the transformation, the growth, and the freedom has come from for me. So I really hope that you pause and are willing to be brave enough and have the courage to look at this for yourself, because what you really deserve is to move through what no longer serves you. You may feel like, well, that's just who I am. That's just the cards that life dealt me. And that's a lie. That is 100% a lie, because we become what we believe. Our thoughts and our feelings, or our thoughts, emotions, and feelings shape us. Our cultural upbringing, our general upbringing, we buy into so many other perspectives from other people that we interpret them, we start acting upon them, and with repetition, it becomes a behavior, becomes a habit, becomes a pattern, and then that's our personality, and that's who we are, or not who we are, who we become. But the great thing is that patterns can be undone. And you can only do that when you are willing to look at what no longer serves you in your life. So I really hope that you take me up on this invitation and put into practice, watch some of the previous videos as well. And that's it. So if this has been valuable, please share it on with someone that you feel may require to hear this. And also, if you have any comments that you'd like to leave, would be so great to hear from you with regards to what has resonated or not. And let's explore, let's chat and see what else is possible. Have a beautiful morning, afternoon, night, whatever time you are watching this. I did not put my phone on silent, so that's what you're hearing. But looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a beautiful one. I adore you. Thank you for being here.